I'm a massive fan of Wandrd, so when they told me they were releasing a 3, 6, and 9-liter version with laptop sleeves of a new sling they had designed, I was extremely stoked. And let me tell you, this thing 100% lives up to the hype of being an amazing camera, everyday, active sling made from that wonderful tarpaulin materials, YKK zippers, weather guard zips, great buckles, comfortable, fits extremely well, can carry a majority of what you need for the day depending on your size, loaded with tons of features, and all around impressive and wonderful to use day sling. In terms of a sling that is perfect for camera gear on the go, I'm a big fan of the 11-liter Wandrd Rogue bag that they just came out with because it fits all of my daily camera gear. But in terms of slicing that down a little bit to not only carry my camera gear, but a little bit of my drone equipment, I have the 6-liter version of this sling, and it has been phenomenal for carrying my bare essentials, like my bare necessities, to go out and do like photography or videography. Now, the only thing that I know is that the 3-liter is completely different than the 6 and 9 in terms of like organization and features, but the 6-liter is just a smaller version of the 9-liter. Now, I got the 6-liter because I feel like 9 is always just a little bit too big, and 3 would definitely be too small. And in here, I'll show you everything I have. I'm able to fit my main camera with lens, an extra lens, my drone batteries, and my drone controller with my extra like batteries and SD cards for my normal camera. All fits in here perfectly, as well as a nice spot for a water bottle or a mini tripod like what I'm filming on. And it all fits in this nice little package comfortably and super well. Now, Wandrd is known for being wizards when it comes to the organization and the materials, and this is no different. It's made from that nice tarpaulin material with YKK zippers and weather guard zips like I mentioned at the top. It is made extremely well. This back panel is surprisingly breathable for a sling. I really like it. Now, granted, this is a 6-liter, so on me, being 5'8", 175 pounds, it doesn't make me sweat too much. It wouldn't anyways because it's not a lot of weight, and it's also not taking up a large portion of my back. But it is a very comfortable sling. It fits really well. They have this nice inclusion. I will not use it. I'm not a big fan. I've seen it on other slings. It's like this extra little rope that can be stored in here. It's a clip that will attach right here on the sling itself, and then it's like extra stabilization and things like that. It fits away nicely in here when I just tuck it in, and that's where it stays for me personally. In terms of how easy this is to adjust, you've got 2 adjust points on either side of this sling. Sorry, I'm still in the middle of moving, so this is like a really weird place to be recording this right now. I've got all kinds of stuff going on, but you've got 2 adjustment points as well as 2 release points here. You can see you just push in on this and pull down. It's not the easiest thing to do one-handed, and that is a nice like quick release. You've got that option on both sides if you need to quickly take off the sling and then also reattach it. Super nice there. You've also got 2 additional grab handles right on the front of that. One right here, another one on the other side over there, making it really nice and easy to grab on either side right there or at the top right there. You'll also see these little side handles on the Wandrd Tech and the Wandrd toiletry pouch, which I'm a huge fan of. They're my go-to everyday tech and toiletry kit, especially for travel. I like these little handles because it is kind of nice. You can carry it either way like this, or you can carry it, you know, if you want to Simba the thing, you can do that as well. You've also got 2 buckles right here if you wanted to attach additional items on the front of this, say like a larger tripod, maybe another water bottle, a smaller tripod. All depends on what you'd want to put. These aren't, I don't think, big enough in my opinion to fit something like a jacket. Maybe on the 9-liter you could. I have been utilizing this bottom pouch here for either my water bottle, which I don't particularly recommend. You can cinch these ends down to make it to where it doesn't completely fall out, but I have found that this is better for my little Gorilla Pod, which I'm currently using to film. It fits in there really nicely. You can cinch these down right here, and it holds the item really well. Now, when you don't want to use this, you just fold it, and it Velcros to the bottom of the bag right there. So out of the way when you don't need it, but super easy to use when you need to use it, I guess is the way to say that. I'm a big fan of those little additions on slings like that. I feel like when you have something like a spot here for these, but they're not in the way, that the straps aren't dangling everywhere. You've got this down here for water bottles or tripods if you need it, but they all kind of seamlessly stay out of the way. For me, that's a big must. Plus, if you wanted to use this as a very large camera cube in a larger travel bag, you can disconnect the entire sling system itself and just plop this right down into your travel bag, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got yourself a portable camera cube. Now, I'm just gonna briefly, before I go into the sling, I just wanna briefly talk about the laptop sleeve, because to me, there's not much to talk about. They have it in a 13 and a 16 inch. I have the 13 inch right here. Really solid laptop sleeve. Honestly, works really well. I will show you how it is used inside of the sling, or how it attaches to the sling. I will probably never be in a situation where I'm using this partnered with the sling. To me, this is perfect for a tablet or a small MacBook, like my MacBook Pro is 13 inch. This works really well, made from that tarpaulin material. You can actually set this up to kind of like be ergonomic for your laptop. But all of this, the whole thing with the tablet sleeve is just, if you're gonna use this together, it integrates really well. But I wanna show you how I'm running this so you can see that you can actually have more space if you need it without using the tablet sleeve. It all depends on how you want to run it, because this back compartment here is where that tablet sleeve goes. And if you don't use the tablet sleeve itself, you actually get more room for extra equipment. With all of that, I will walk you through every nook and cranny on the sling, starting with the quick access front pouch here. Now, there's not much to this. This is a very tight pocket up front. I will say that be careful what you put in here. There's not a lot of give. It's a little difficult to get in and out because it is very tight, because the way the camera cube system is set up on the inside, it's not movable, it's foam, it's rigid, it pushes up against it. In here, this is where I put my extra batteries for my Canon M50, which is inside of here. And then there is a spot next to that, if you can kind of see, for a key clip, right? And this is actually pretty nice. If you don't have a lot of keys on your like car key ring, this is a good clip, fits in there right pretty easily. But again, like I said, because this pocket can be so tight, to me, putting extra items that are small in here didn't work as well. I found just putting something larger that was easy to find, like my batteries. I might need these, chances are I won't. The other thing you could put in here would be sunglasses. It would be a little tight, you wanna be a little careful. It's not exactly soft line, but it is a good spot to put those. It's about the only quick access you're gonna get for things like wallet, keys, sunglasses, cell phone if you're going through security. Great spot to just kind of dump that in if this is your carry-on for security, car keys, whatever it might be. It is also a very good security dump if it is your travel accessory, because this is a really good personal item to bring. If you get in an airline that lets you bring a travel, carry-on and a personal item, this is a great personal item. The 6 liter, I feel like you can get away with a lot easier than the 9. Again, it kind of depends on how much stuff you want to take, but overall, this is a really good front pocket. I found that a lot of different uses for it, a variety of uses, from extra pouches to phones to keys to wallets to masks while I'm out and about. All of it worked really well. I'm a big fan of this front pocket. All right, we'll jump into the main compartment here. Nice one-handed use. I found that the one thing I like about this sling a lot compared to other slings is that when I pull it around the front of my body and I go to unzip it, I can unzip it one-handed, I can grab or put what I need, and for the most part, with a little extra tugging, I can re-zip the bag up one-handed, easy, no problem. Pretty much a one-handed system all the way around, from adjusting to grabbing what you need. I found that majority of the time when I was using this, I could do everything one-handed. The only downside is sometimes, because these are weather guard YKK zips, they do stick a little bit, but I found that if you just give it a little nudge, you can get through it pretty easily. Okay, so in here, right off the rip, you have an extra pocket up here. This is a great one to put your extra camera accessories. This is where I put my SD card case, fits in there nicely. It's a nice spot. There is no extra organization in this pocket, if you can see that, but there is a good extra room in here for other small pouches. Like I said, if you have SD card cases, battery cases, anything like that, it's a really good spot right there at the top to kind of put what you need and get it. Also, when you're opening this one-handed like this, the fact that this is right here, grab what you need, re-zip, close, and then for the most part, like I said, you can get this one-handed. I was steadying it a little bit because usually I would use my body to kind of steady it, but honestly, super easy and seamless. Now in here, this is what I have, right? And I'll pull all of this out, but this is my main sling loadout. I have my Mavic Mini 2 drone. I got my Canon M50, or this is just the Canon Nifty 50 lens. And then I have my Canon M50 with a 23mm lens in here. And then also what I've thrown in here, because it fits really nicely, is my Wandrd neck strap sling, camera sling. These are really good, by the way. Really easy to get on, really easy to get off. Big fan, I always carry that around. And then you can actually customize a lot in here. These foam dividers are no different than anything that Wandrd has had on their camera cubes before. They're completely customizable. You can move them around. You can adjust it to fit however big or small your items might be. You can get 2 dividers. Again, 9 would give you a little bit more space if you have a bigger camera, if you want to take a bigger lens, taking like a telescopic lens. You could easily fit that in here, but it'd be the only thing you're taking. With this, because I travel light, I use mainly just these 2 lenses for filming and photography. And then I also like to carry my drone. These all 3 fit in there really well. That's all I personally need. Now behind that, you got an extra little spot. This is where I feel like this sling really takes it to the next level, right? It can make it a little tight, but on this back here, you've got a spot. I don't know if you can see that. I'm kind of struggling here, but this is a good spot for camera batteries that are loose if you didn't have a like camera pouch or anything. You've also got 2 extra little divider thingies here to put extra things in if you need them. So you can actually fit quite a bit more. And if you don't, I don't use this section at all, because I feel like what I have in the back here, which is where the tablet also goes, again, it all kind of seamlessly works together. I will say the one downside of this bag, right? The one negative that I have is that depending on what you want to use and what you want to bring, you do have to sacrifice some of that space or some of that organization in order to make that happen. For me, I'm not able to use this back one because I utilize the other space where the tablet would go for my extra drone equipment. I probably could fit it in here if I wanted to, but then it'd get very tight and it'd be very difficult to navigate. And I don't like it when my bags feel super compressed. It feels like things are pushing up against each other. I'm not a fan of that. I like it to be easy. I like it to be smooth. I want plenty of space to kind of breathe, so I have wiggle room, so it's not hard to get things in and out. This sling, rather, has not been difficult to get in and out of at all. But I've also made sure that I personally have kept it where there's a little bit of room between the items. So with that, on the back here, if you unzip this, this is where I have put my drone controller and my extra, these are my Mavic Mini 2 batteries and the Mavic Mini 2 drone controller. This right here is where you can fit the tablet, because on the bottom right here there's a zipper, and if you unzip that, what it ends up giving you is some extra space here. See that? Let me zip up the main compartment so I can show you, right? So if you have the tablet sleeve, you can actually put that in there. It's giving you this little like ropey dopey thing to kind of secure it. This is all behind the scenes. Look, it's like a big reveal kind of thing. And boom. And that is how the tablet integrates. There's a clip down here. You pull this rope around, it keeps it nice and secured. And when it's on your body, it doesn't look bad. Now again, because that's where I like to keep my extra drone equipment so I can utilize a little bit more space without having to go with a bigger sling, I use that for that. You could unzip this and put all kinds of stuff that you want in here, right? You could easily use this to carry a tablet. You could use this to carry extra equipment. You could use it to even carry something larger that might be the same kind of shape. I don't really know, but I do know there's a lot of different uses you could get out of the fact that this pocket down here does expand. Or you can do what I do, leave it non-expand, put some extra big bulkier equipment in there, and you got more room for extra camera gear. Either one really works super well in my personal opinion. And that's the nice thing about the Wandrd Sling, is that it can be used for a variety of things. There's so much you can do. You can take the dividers out and use this as an everyday carry item that's not even photography based. You could throw extra clothes in here, a protein shaker, a gym towel, and you can go to the gym if you really wanted to. You can even get the 9-liter and make that happen even more. You can use it for photography, you could use it for business. There's all different kinds of things you can do. And for me personally, when I'm back full-time in the office, this actually wouldn't be that bad of a bag or sling system to take into the office non-photography. It just depends on how you'd use it. For me personally, I've been using it strictly for photography, so I haven't had the need to put this tablet and everything and sleeve in here, because the chances are if I'm taking my computer anywhere in a bag, it's usually on a trip. I don't usually just take my computer with me places. I don't do that with my tablet either. I just find it a little bit easier to just either work from home, or if I'm traveling, take my laptop, work from the hotel kind of thing. It's also very light when it's empty. I just realized this. I didn't really think about how light this thing is when it's empty, but without anything into it, it's fairly light. Honestly, it's just an all-around good sling. Now, the thing is, I've reviewed a few slings and a few like messenger bags on this channel, right? Some from Peak, some from Milliken, some from Movement, all different kinds of slings. And the biggest competitor for this would definitely be like a Peak design sling, right? The everyday sling that they have for camera gear. But I just found this one to have a little bit more organization. It just work a little bit more smoothly, in my opinion, just overall be a little bit easier to navigate. Maybe doesn't hold as much stuff, but the organization that's built into this, I feel like is a lot more accessible and a lot more practical than a lot of slings of this size that are trying to do the same thing. I just feel like Wandrd, whenever they do this, like when they finally updated their Provoke bag, like one of the things I had about the Provoke bag that I wish they would have changed sooner was the lack of extra organization. When they brought that out and also made an 11-liter bag version of it, I feel like that really escalated it to a new level. Same thing with the Fernweh, right? That bag is loaded with organization and it makes a great travel or hiking bag or whatever you want. And same thing with the sling. I think they have kind of learned from those previous bags that people are like extra organization. Duo is another good example. Big fan of that bag as well, that they added organization, but they did what I love and they didn't add too much. They added just enough, and that's really evident, I feel, on the inside compartment where you have this top compartment right here that has no extra organization. It's just a nice pouch, but then back here, if you want to, you can add extra batteries and some other larger items. On top of that, you have that front access, plus you have the back. It's just enough organization to take all the things you need without giving you too many little slots and things that are made for specific items. And I feel like that's why it works so well, is that because they don't have areas that are like, well, you have to put this in there. And I feel like that can take away from a lot of bags where if you make something specific to fit into the organization pouch, that's not necessarily a good thing because somebody might not have that specific item. But if you have something like this where it's a little pouch and it fits into that item and you can use it however you want, to me, that works super well. Overall, my final thoughts on this bag is it's comfortable, it's easy to navigate, it is extremely beneficial for the photographer or person on the go because it has plenty of organization, works really well, can take your stuff. If you're a minimal photographer, a mobile photographer, drone, whatever you might be, I feel like the 6 or the 9 liter will work really well for you. Again, this is the 6 liter and I was able to fit those items in it. So maybe you need to go a little bit bigger depending on your equipment. But overall, Wandrd has yet again knocked out of the park with another incredible product. So this is currently live on Kickstarter. I will link the Kickstarter below. I don't have like a kick booster, anything like that, just because I don't really do those. It's not my thing. If they're gonna send me a product to help their Kickstarter out, that's to me is enough help. I don't need any kickback. If I like a product, I'm gonna tell you I like a product. If I don't like a product, I'm not gonna make a video about it. Wandrd, like their product, so I'll link their Kickstarter below. Go support them. I think it's gonna have like a week left by the time this video comes out on my channel. I'm a little late to the game on getting this out, but better late than never because this is still a super solid sling. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer those for you. If you could, like, subscribe, all that good nonsense. Shoot me an email, odiematthewsbags@gmail.com. If you want to have more discussions, bags, lists, suggestions, anything like that. You can also support me on Patreon. I'll link that below if you want bonus content or if you want to just help support the channel. Thank you guys again so much for the love and support, and I will see you next time.